Welcome to Our Ventura. I'm Kat Merrick, and today my guest is Ross Emery, producer and founder of the Roadshow Revival. Welcome, Ross.
Hi, Kat. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited that you could be here today. I wanted to talk a little bit, just viewers at home probably don't know your history. You know, they might see Roadshow, but they don't understand the history of Ross Emery. And you're a local boy.
Yes.
Born and raised, and you've got a long history of music in this town. You've been playing 30 years, or more than 30
Going
years?
on 30, I hear.
And Raging Arb and the Redheads and
Yes.
some other things. And Ross, you play the drums. And what kind of got you into the music? Why did you start playing music, and how did that all come together with the crew that you play with?
Well, you know, when we were young, me and my brother Toby, our mom, you know, she would drive from Antelope Valley, which is Palmdale area, to Santa Barbara, Ventura, and in the back of her car we would be hearing Three Dog Night, Creedence Clearwater Revival, the Allman Brothers, and some good southern fried music. And you know, then years later, I mean, we would get out of school, we'd either surf and come home, listen to music that she had, and literally, you know, me, Toby, JD, half of the band would get together. Some guys just would have fun. We would, you know, play air guitar, drums, whatever it was, like those commercials you see. And, you know, we would surf. And then a couple of years later, a good friend, I mean, he's a good friend now. Back then, Chris Bird, he played music in Full Sail and a lot of bands. And I don't know how that got together, but he put us together as a band. You're gonna sing, you're playing drums, blah, blah, blah. He had me as the lead singer, and I said, no, that's not me. So JD took it, and I played drums because I was dabbling with that. And it just all kind of started, you know. We would commission him with a 6-pack of beer and a pint of some good tequila, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I'd heard that story today. JD kind of filled me in on that one today. We were laughing, and what's fun is that even after all these years, I mean, a lot of the great local musicians in this town that play guitar, Chris Bird taught how to play.
Yeah, had an influence.
He's a legend. And he still comes out and plays with you guys all the time, and he's a kick in the pants, and he's a fun one, isn't he?
Yeah, yes. Yes, we've all, you know, had a lot of fun doing this. We're all brothers. I mean, me and Toby are literally, me and JD have been best friends for years, and then, you know, Billy McGraw and Penner and Arb, obviously, and we're all still around, and we try to get together. I say we do bar mitzvahs and barbecues at the most, and just keep it.
But back in the day, I mean, downtown Ventura had so many great clubs. There was Nickleby's and Metro Bay, and back in the days, Charlie's, and I mean, there were so many different venues that people could, you know, go and hear music at. We have a lot now, but back then too, I don't think a lot of people realized the music scene that was even going on that far back. And I remember the first time I saw you guys, I think it was at Charlie's, and that's where Aloha Steakhouse is now, and then developed that friendship with JD, and then met the rest of you. But years of playing together. I mean, you guys are, it's obvious when you see you play that it's a brotherhood. So.
Yeah, it's fun. Back in the day you're talking about, I mean, clubs, it would be Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. Yeah. That same band would play the whole time.
Exactly.
You know, and we wouldn't see sunlight till Monday, and just, you know, and it was good. A lot of good talent came out of Ventura, obviously. You know, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, you know, Scotty and those guys. They, you know, we used to play. They'd open the show, and then, you know, vice versa. And there's a lot of good history when you look back on that. And you know, I feel we've all, you know, matured and survived and doing different things, and we've all got our fingers in music some way or another.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about this the other day, JD and I, how funny all of full circle, all of us as friends of, you know, JD puts on the surf rodeo, you know, and I've been working on some music events, and then you, I mean, it's been a great friendship and partnership how we all work together, but you developed 5 years ago, correct, Roadshow Revival.
You know, it started out in the early days of Johnny Cash Music Festival, and a friend, Jackie Murphy, pioneered the idea, and we all got together and, you know, created what it was, and then some legalities took place, so we took it by the bull by the horn, so to say, shifted gears and created Roadshow Revival and took it from there. And it is today what it is because of, you know, the work that we've all done.
And so why was it that you wanted to do Roadshow Revival? What drew you? Was it this love of Johnny Cash, the fact that he used to live here? Why Roadshow? Why the Johnny Cash tribute?
You know, like I said, Jackie came up with an idea, and we did a few together, and then decided, you know, we're going to take this and further it, because it took a lot of work to get it away from the Johnny Cash estate and the rules and the legalities, cease and desist. And so we hung in there, and the reason was because, you know, we had something, and it was our passion of what we were doing. And yeah, I mean, Johnny was a resident. Cindy and I have become good friends. Yeah, and
she's involved in it heavily.
Yeah.
Cindy Cash, Johnny's daughter.
Yeah.
And that's been great. I've watched her over the years, just the joy that, and her sister came last year, right? Who was at the event?
You know, she had a few cousins and friends and stuff. I don't think one of the sisters had made it. She's invited, you know, her sister that tours and sings and all that fun stuff. Roseanne. And, you know, it is what it is. And we have Hugh Waddell comes from Nashville, Johnny's publicist, and a lot of people get involved that want to be.
Well, it's been interesting to watch the evolution of it, too, because Hugh Waddell coming out, who was Johnny's one of his best friends, and he talks a lot about Johnny's stories on the mic, and it's always a new one. I'm like, how does every year he come up with all these new ones? And then additions are like Robert, who wrote the book about the LA Times writer. What's his last name?
Robert Hilburn. Yeah,
Robert
he was
Hilburn.
the LA music critic for the Los Angeles Times for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
So when we had lunch with him and met up and were able to ink him to bring the newest book out and his experience with Johnny, I mean, you were there, we had lunch, we were sitting there for an hour just like, oh man.
I know, it was amazing. He was nonstop stories and some endearing stories. I mean, I grew up on Johnny. I mean, I grew up, every road trip, my father had it on the radio and we were singing along. So I already have that in my heart. And I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that doesn't somehow know some Cash song and sing along to it. And when he started telling all these great stories about how Johnny really wanted to be a gospel singer, and that really touched me. That was very interesting. And
that was some good
wasn't
stuff.
it?
And yeah, he was excited to see what we were doing and the risks that we have been taking, as you know. I mean, 3 years ago, I told Cindy, I said, hey, I want to bring the gospel to this. Your dad was big, I'm big in that, Billy Graham, and a lot of folks in Ventura. And when we did, you know, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, we bring local pastors from Ventura Missionary City Church, Mission Church, and their pastors read out of Johnny's Bible, his favorite scripture, and it's like, you know, you could hear a pin drop the first time, and I was tripping, you know, okay, should we do this? Not, yes.
Well, it's, you know, I think a lot of people questioned it, but then they realized that it was something that was huge in Johnny's life. Yeah. It's another way to pay tribute to everything he went through and where he came out in the end, to redemption, forgiveness, and all of those things. And his music and what it does for so many people, I think it does that for a lot of people as well. It has provided that to so many people who listen to his music and have said, it gives them that hope, that feeling, that you know, happiness, that joy. What I like too is you combined a lot more than just all of that. The pinup girls, you want to talk about how that came into play with that as well? Yeah,
you know, the first one we did in 2009, Jalopy Joe was a good friend of mine, still is. He passed away, and he was the king of pinups and promoting and car shows and bikes and all that. So we kept that alive, and you know, we're going to have about 50 pinup girls, probably 100 cars and bikes, and 100 vendors. We kind of cap out on that. And you know, it's been a great combination for Ventura.
It has.
You know.
It has. Well, the thing that I like is, you know, what I don't think the community understands. They might say, "Wow, there's another music event, or there's another, you know, big event going on." But what it does is, it doesn't just bring great music to the town. And I think people don't realize Ventura was voted Ventura County in the top 10 in music industry in the world. We're in the top 10, and that means people that live here that are in the industry. So you think about Johnny Cash used to live here. There's a lot of great musicians that are famous, that live in Ventura County, but there's also that back end, that studios and all of those things. So I think when we bring more festivals here, it kind of tells people that story of we're a music town, but it also brings a great amount of revenue, which every community can use that influx of hotel stays and visitors, and it's great.
Yeah, and don't have to tell you the work behind it. I mean, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Lou Robin, Johnny's manager, told me that right when I first met him, and he's seen me up, he's seen me down, he's guided us. I got an email today, and it's like, you know, as you know, if this was in 30 miles north or 30 miles south, we'd have double, triple the attendance. And we're building something here. It's like, we want people to know, but do we really want to overpopulate? But here, come here and enjoy, you know, and yes, enjoy our downtown, our city, and people that see the beach, like, you know, the state beach. We've been blessed on days that are just a sheet of glass out there.
Wonderful. And what's really great is the evolution again of the Roadshow. You know, the Ventura Music Week has partnered to be that beginning. It kicks off the week before, and the grand finale goes into Roadshow. And what is great about that is just more opportunity. People come in and they get more experience of the community and the town. It's worked out really well, don't you think? I think that's been
incredible,
great.
and we're honored to have that bookend. And, I mean, I got goosebumps thinking about that stuff, and I know what's going on, and people are going to want to be there. You're helping out with that, doing a great job, and I can't wait to go.
It's exciting. It's very exciting. And
people are going to see things they've never seen before.
That's true.
You know, in this town and talent of music.
Yes, the level.
From our boys, from locals. You know.
Well, that's something too. You always include the locals. And that's huge. So you name some of the big acts you've had, and then maybe give us some of the local ones. We've got about 2 more minutes, so let's talk about that, and then I think people would like to know some of those big names.
You know, some of my favorites. You know, Robert Gordon, Slim Jim Phantom from the Stray Cats. We had Chris Christopherson one year. The Blasters, X, from Deke Dickerson to, I mean, all kinds of Wanda Jackson, Junior Brown.
Yes.
But this year we signed Los Lobos, so this is a huge hit for us. I mean, you know, 40 years in the making, East LA band. One of my favorites.
And you have the Paladins too,
Yeah,
correct?
the Paladins, Dale Watson and James Enveld. And then, you know, we have a lot of other bands too. Local band, Hard Six, Mighty Cash Cats, and then a few others. They can go to our website and get more information on everything.
So why don't you, you know, just tell us a little bit at the end here. It's always every year on June 14th.
Well, the day kind of fluctuates.
Okay, so June, usually June.
It's traditionally mid-June, Father's Day weekend, the Saturday before.
Okay, and it's at the Ventura Fairgrounds.
Correct.
And Raging Arbor and the Redheads we can see everywhere. Look for them, because you're not going to want to miss them.
We'll see us at the rodeo, the surf rodeo this year.
And why don't you tell folks how they can connect with Roadshow Revival?
You know, they can go online, RoadshowRevival.com, and it'll show all the bands. It'll show everything they need to know. If people want to volunteer, you know, whatever works out. But I'm really proud to partner up with Food Share, and we're really donating, you know, $1 a ticket to them, and helps feed 70,000 people monthly.
And again, that's RoadshowRevival.com?
Correct.
Okay. And thank you so much, Ross. I know how busy you are right now trying to get all this stuff done, and I really appreciate you coming in.
Oh, thank you. And I know you've been busy too.
Oh, great. And I want to thank you. This is Our Ventura, and I'm Kat Merrick, and we'll see y'all next time.